Welcome to the latest edition of Thom's TCPIII's model build. This time around we've got the lighting effects from VooDooFx for the R2-D2 and the C-3PO models. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pop these puppies open and take a look to see what all we've got here. In the background you get to hear Bailey and Falcor. They're going ahead and kind of meandering around as if they want me to go ahead and play with them. Unfortunately, I'm playing with these first. So, be right back in a moment. We'll go ahead and we'll open up the R2-D2 first. Alright, we are back. As you can see, I've opened up the package a little bit here, and we're going to go over some of the things that are contained within this package. To start off with, we've got a 3mm blue LED. We have a couple 3mm red, a 5mm yellow, several shrink tubes, one 9-volt LED or 9-volt battery connector, a on-off switch that we can see right there, some wire, a circuit board, and the circuit board is already pre-wired with the resistors on it, so that's kind of nice. It kind of saves me a little bit of time. And we got some aluminum back tape here. Also, we have the instructions with the listing of where the wiring goes. Here we go. Where the yellow goes, the red and the blues and so on. And then the wiring instructions are contained on the back. The instructions seem to be fairly straightforward. If you've done any type of soldering at all, it shouldn't be any difficult to go ahead and do. So I'm hoping that I won't have much trouble at all. The circuit board itself pretty well goes along with the instructions here as to what is what. So I am very much looking forward to going ahead and plugging away with this. As you can see, it talks about the resistors up there. Here's the resistors here. Here's the on-off, the ground, and it's pretty well labeled. Oops, let me get this back in frame here. This is pretty well labeled to go along with the instructions above me here. So this should be easy to go ahead and install. The installation, they go ahead and indicate to go ahead and put everything inside with the chip. And there goes Bailey. Put everything inside the body of the model. However, I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm only going to go ahead and put the lights internally contained within R2-D2 and within the C-3PO model. I'm actually going to put all the electronics in the base unit, so that way in case there are any problems, I can go ahead and diagnose things hopefully without having any issues. Without having the circuit board in the model, unless an LED pops on me, which that does happen, but it'll take time. Unless the LED pops, the circuit board is readily available for me to go ahead and do some repairs, since it'll be in the base, readily available. So Randy Newbert with VooDooFx does a nice little piece here. There is some soldering to do, but I don't see that as being any difficulty. He supplies you with everything except for the soldering iron and solder. So I see this being pretty straightforward. So my main thing will be going ahead and getting some probably some magnetic wire over at the local Radio Shack, so that way I can go ahead and have some extensions to go ahead and run up from the base all the way up into the model itself. So I'll go ahead and do that and be able to go ahead and run everything that way. I will not, however, be running it with the 9-volt battery supply. I will instead be going ahead and picking up a 9-volt connector and running it all through a power supply unit. So to that end, I will be testing the circuits and having a little bit of fun. Anyways, on to the C-3PO up next. Alright, and welcome back. This time around, we've got the C-3PO effects lighting for the model. Taking a look at what we have here. This particular one appears to be a little bit self-contained. Like before, we have some LEDs. In this case, it looks like we've got three 3mm yellow LEDs. Kind of interesting because we only need two. So I'm guessing we've got a spare there. We have a couple of resistors here. We have the lights, or I should say the eyes for C-3PO, which the model contained two red ones, but this one, it's clear, so that way the yellow will actually go ahead and glow through. The wiring harness actually contains the the board, if you will, which already has the resistors soldered onto it. The power supply is connected to it, as well as the on-off switch, which you can see all that right there. Let me go ahead and zoom this out just a little bit. Oops, wrong direction. So, not much needs to be done with this guy here. We have some shrink tube, and then we have a couple different wiring loops there to go ahead and use. So, taking a look at this, there we go. You can see a little bit on the left there, kind of a, not quite a stick figure version of C-3PO with his lights, showing the running the LEDs through the body and leg. Point LEDs towards the lens cups, and then, putting them right there behind it, so that way you can go ahead and get the glow. Above that, you can go ahead and see the circuit board layout. So, with everything pretty well done in here, the resistors are already in the 9-volt power supply, which I'll have to go ahead and yank that, so that way I can go ahead and hook up a separate power supply, and then the area where we go ahead and connect the LEDs is right here. So fairly straightforward, a lot less work to do with this particular one than with the other one, insofar as the battery connector and the on-off switch is already connected. So, but again, I will have to go ahead and kind of disconnect a few things and run it all to one on-off switch, because I want them all to, or both to come on at the same time. So that way I can go ahead and, enjoy them, if you will, at the same spot, same time, without having to go ahead and go back and forth. But it's kind of nice to have the additional resistors just in case. So, again, straightforward. Basic soldering skills. So I get to go ahead and pull out some antiquated skills that I haven't done in quite some time. Picked up a fairly new soldering iron that I get to go ahead and play with. The ancient one that I've actually got a couple upstairs. Actually one downstairs and one upstairs. So I'm sure you'll go ahead and get a chance to see it here once I go ahead and move everything back up into the hobby room. Alright, so this ends the 4th video, I believe, for my modeling, and we will probably have a jingling of a collar of a dog. We will probably go ahead and possibly have a review of Gil Hernandez's flying sub parts here coming up shortly. He did go ahead and mail me recently, and we will go into that hopefully in the next week or so. So till then, have a good weekend, And happy modeling, people. Take care.